What's up everybody, Maze here, bringing another 1v1 cast. The game is StarCraft 2, the map is Scrap Station. And I gotta say, it's only been about 2 weeks since the beta closed, but I'm already feeling the pull to play the game again. But luckily for us, we have these juicy replays to watch. I have not seen this game before, so I'm very excited. And it is between Painuser and Rigid. So Painuser playing as Terran and Rigid playing as the blue Zerg. We see that the Zerg is getting his Overlord at 9. Recently overheard some discussion where it's best for to make the Overlord at 9 drones and not try to get the 10th one out as fast as you can. People did graphs and math and all that stuff behind it, so I guess 9 is the best time to get your Overlord. Another thing to say about Scrap Station is that the rush distance is really long, so usually you see a lot of macro slash tech style builds on this map. You have to go all the way around here, and also because Painuser is Terran, we're probably not going to see any rush from him because Terran don't really have all that much in the beginning to rush with. You know, maybe if it was a Protoss or something, we might be able to chrono boost out some Zealots, but we're probably not going to see that. So I think what we are going to see here, however, is this drone going straight for a hatchery. Looks like he is getting ready for that. He does almost have the minerals, so 300 minerals about to be ready. Yeah, so there goes the hatchery. And definitely a good call for Rigid. He can totally get away with that on this map because, like I said, there isn't really going to be any rush, so he can go that hatchery without the spawning pool and not even have to worry about what's going to happen. So yeah, spawning pool right now. Rigid off to a good start. Painuser right now, he does have his refinery up. He does have 3 SCVs mining it. He is also getting the second refinery here, so I'm guessing we're probably going to see some kind of heavy style tech from Painuser. I would love to see some Banshees actually, because it's really hard for Zerg to deal with a fast air push. And Banshees are very powerful, and if he can get that, he would definitely be able. All Zerg really have to deal with air are some queens. So if Rigid doesn't get enough and Painuser is able to surprise him with a Banshee attack, then this game might be over pretty quickly. But yeah, not sure what to expect from Painuser yet. Probably, yeah. Here's the factor right now. So we are probably going to see some Hellions coming out of here. So he is blocking off right now. Not sure yet what to expect. I don't see any. He's definitely not going to go an M&M build. So he might lay down a tech lab or something and lift off this factory. I do see that a lot. I don't see a starport or anything like that. Oh, obviously not, because the factory's not built yet. But yeah, like I said, I would love to see a starport from Painuser. Taking a look at what Rigid is doing, 2 Zerglings are on the map right now. He isn't scouting with them yet. I think they're right over here. I hear those 2 Zerglings. The SCV scouting, trying to see what Rigid is going to go. We only really see an extractor, so nothing really crazy from Rigid right now. He's starting to saturate this expansion. A second queen coming out. And yeah, this is what is happening. You do see this a lot. You can build the tech lab and just kind of lift off. So that's what's happening right now, and it looks like a command center is being made right now, so Painuser realizes he has to start getting caught up on his macro game because Rigid does have that second expansion. Right now, Rigid is definitely far ahead on the mineral count, so definitely Painuser is going to need to lift that off and get his expansion saturated soon. Seems like they are pretty much equal on harvesters, however, but I think the macro game will come down to an even match soon enough. A layer being created right now, and we see the spine crawler in this mineral line. You can put spine crawlers usually in a place where they aren't really affecting the drone mining all that much. So decent spot for Rigid to put this right here. Sometimes you can even find kind of a little sweet spot where it doesn't even affect the mining at all. And the reason that Zerg players do this is because lots of Terran will go that Hellion push that I was talking about. So if we do see Hellions from Painuser, they are going to be hard pressed to harass this line here. I think I saw a Hellion being constructed. Looking at the units, yeah, there is one Hellion right now. I think he's probably just going to try to use this more as a scout because he does kind of have a spot right here to try to harass this area, but I don't really think that Hellion is really going to be able to do too much. Yeah, he fried a Zergling there. Pretty good micro, still keeping that Hellion alive. But yeah, I think this Hellion is probably going to die, or just barely able to make it away with a little bit of health. There isn't much he can do here. This Rigid is pretty much D'd up at the moment. And we see Hydralisk Den, so that is what we're going to see from Rigid. 4 Hydralisk being made right now. So he does have these tanks, and against Mass Hydra tanks, tanks actually can do fairly well. They don't have any plus damage against them, but that splash attack really helps with the mass. So tank's definitely a good call here. I'm not sure what else he's going to get to back up those tanks. We do see an armory, so probably it's just going to be a heavy ground mech build for Painuser. Making some Marines. I think he already has his siege upgraded, so we see Painuser coming out right now with a couple of SCVs, probably to either repair these tanks or maybe even throw down a clutch bunker somewhere. I love when I see that from Terran players. It looks like he's going for these rocks, so Rigid probably not going to be expecting him to be coming from this side, so this should be pretty interesting. We see missile turrets coming out here and a sentry tower. That's a pretty interesting play. I'm not really sure why he wants the missile turret here, maybe to keep overlords away, but interesting setup by Painuser here. He's kind of camping out right here. Yeah, I've not really seen this all that much, so that's kind of cool. He does have the sensory tower here in a pretty good position. He can see if Rigid is trying to break through the rocks, as well as maybe have any kind of unit here in the Xel'Naga Watchtower. He also is going to be able to see that, so definitely really good position with this sensor tower here. He does not see this attack coming, however, not until just a few seconds if the Zerg is going to try to make their way onto this base. But right now, Painuser does have this D right here, and even with these, he is even in range of these destructible rocks we see right here. Even if the Zerg try to make this tiny area here, it's probably not going to work out that well. So, yeah, the Zerg, he does see the Zerg army there right now. You can see he sees those red exclamation marks, so he knows that there's a Zerg unit